needing a victory to keep themselves in the final Champions League place and also maintain their pursuit of Manchester United and Chelsea at the top of the table. They have a prolonged winning streak against Everton, but we've seen on so many occasions this season in the WSL, it is dangerous to take anything for granted, and Jonas Idevall has dismissed Everton's 7-0 defeat at Chelsea last week as an indication of what may happen here tonight. It's an Everton team showing changes against an Arsenal side still racked by injuries, and that won't change between now and the end of the season. But Arsenal still have the quality, and Everton know this will be a very testing 90 minutes, and they have found it very difficult to pick up points against those above them in the Women's Super League table so far this season. Brian Sørensen has responded to the 7-0 defeat to Chelsea by dropping goalkeeper Courtney Brosnan and defenders Megan Finnegan and Ricky Savetka. Emily Ramsey pays her first match since January. Sarah Holmgaard comes into a reshaped back three, and Aggie Beever Jones will support Katya Snoejis in attack. Caitlin Ford starts her first Arsenal game since the win over Manchester City at the start of April. Leah Volti also returns, with Jodie Taylor and Catherine Kuehl dropping to the bench, which includes Steph Catley, who is back from injury. Great support for Arsenal here tonight. It's a long journey up for a midweek game, but these are big games at which to support your team. And the Everton supporters will be hoping they see something more impressive than the performance they put on at Kingsmeadow against more London opposition a week last Sunday. But Nicoline Sørensen, their captain, is a player who continues to set the standards for those around her. Katie McCabe with the armband for Arsenal in the absence of Kim Little. We won't see her again this season, sadly, due to a hamstring injury. But it's a very busy period for McCabe, with the title race ongoing and the World Cup with the Republic of Ireland coming up later on this summer. And she is somebody who is ideally suited to step up to the captain's role at any time. And clearly, she is a very popular figure. A real Nordic influence in this Everton team, sprinkled with Danish and Swedish internationals. Jonas Idevall just working on the tactics all the way up to kick-off. Cheryl Foster is our referee for this game. And both sets of players take the knee before kick-off to highlight the ongoing drive for diversity and inclusivity in football and beyond. And it's Everton who get the game underway. A big night in the title race, with Chelsea playing at West Ham later here on Merseyside. Arsenal wearing all black, facing Everton, looking to maintain their faint championship hopes and maybe more realistically cement their place in the top three, which carries Champions League football next season. Here is Wheeler. Now Ghali, but she's quickly given the ball away. And Arsenal have won their previous 14 league games against Everton, going back to a 2-2 draw in August of 2012, when Farrah Williams and Lucy Bronze were on the score sheet for Everton. Kim Little and Jordan Nobbs responded for Arsenal. Everton's last victory was in the first WSL season in July of 2011 when Tony Duggan was on the score sheet. A long time before Brian Sørensen arrived. And overall, Arsenal have 16 wins against Everton in the Women's Super League, which is a record. I hope it's an ongoing record here tonight, although it was a tight game. The ball was almost given away there to Caitlin Ford. Viviane Miedema scored the only goal back in early December, just before her season-ending injury. Sarah Holmgren, both of the Holmgaard twins are involved here this evening. Karen, wearing number 28 for Everton, will be further up the field. Bjorn. It's a good ball to pick out Sørensen. Benison looking for Sørensen again, but Arsenal win it back. Raphael will be tidied up by Natalie Bjorn. Now Bjorn going longer. Benison, who was a big money signing made by Everton last season, but in a team which was struggling right from the start. She found it difficult to settle in, but has shown better form this season. Gali. Now Sørensen. Gali beaten to it by McCabe. Leigh Wheeler, the Australian international. Bjorn. The Holmgaards either side of her at the minute. Here is Karen Holmgaard. Both Danish internationals. Sarah Holmgaard back to Emily Ramsey, playing her first game since January. Courtney Brosnan is on the bench after conceding 7 in that game against Chelsea. Everton looking to break here, but it's cut out by Beattie. Maanum enjoying an excellent spell of form. And Arsenal have the free kick. Frida Maanum with 5 goals and 2 assists since the start of March. Only Rachel Daly and Khadija Shaw have been involved in more goals over that time, and they're the 2 top scorers in the Women's Super League. McCabe. Now Volti. Ruben Moy looking for Blackstenius. Just beyond her this time. She'd already scored the opening goal this time last week at Brighton. She scored twice in the opening 8 minutes there after only 2 goals in her previous 12 games. Benison. She knew that McCabe was in the vicinity. Holmgaard. Beever Jones. Looking hard to win it back. Holmgaard again. And Sarah Holmgaard. Bjorn. Wheeler. Everton with 8 wins, 3 draws and 8 defeats so far this season. This explains their mid-table placing. Nice turn from Benison. It's cut out quickly. Here is Volti. Maanum. And the pitch has been heavily watered before kick-off, and The ball has been finding the playing surface a bit sticky in the central area. Volti. Zinsberger leaving a penalty area, but then quickly retreating. Here is Ruben Moy. Belova is playing over on the right-hand side as the free kick has been won for Arsenal. Blackstenius, the player who was taken down. Everton have done a good job of just stifling Arsenal's creativity in the opening stages here. Beattie. Ruben Moy. I think she was hoping that Blackstenius would make the run in behind, but she stayed where she was, and it's a goal kick. Chelsea, Manchester United, Aston Villa and Manchester City have all won here this season. Everton's record against the top four is 1 draw and 5 defeats. And they did pick up a goalless draw at Manchester United. And they still have Manchester City to play away from home on the final day of the season. Gerald Foster is not happy with the ball, so we now have a replacement. No sense of deflation for either side so far. Everton have had more stability off the field this season after 2 coaches were sacked during the previous campaign, and that really led through to some very poor performances on the field. Wheeler. Now Benison. Sørensen. A good-looking cross, but it's side netting in the end. But Snoejis and Beever Jones were waiting. Just gave her a yard there, and she was prepared to whip the ball in as quickly as possible. Zinsberger has to hurry. McCabe. Now Ford. McCabe makes the run. In the end, Ford shoves over Holmgren, but it's Karen Holmgren who receives the yellow card for holding on to Ford. And she will have to manage that yellow card for some time. But Everton have had the lion's share of possession so far, which doesn't often happen in Arsenal games. Confirmation of the yellow card for Karen Holmgren. Raphael looking for Ford. Sørensen. Volti quickly winning it back and using the ball well. Maritz. And in the end it was given away by Volti, but Everton will always try and be patient and play their way out. And it did cost them on 1 or 2 occasions against Chelsea in that 7-0 defeat. But Brian Sørensen is trying to put down some long-term foundations here. And it will take time. Everton don't have the financial punch of many of the clubs above them. Raphael. Beattie spreading it wide again to Wubben Moy. Palova. That's a nice turn, quickly forward towards Blackstenius again, but this time it's cut out and Beattie wins it back though. Wubben Moy. McCabe. The victory at Brighton was the 14th time Arsenal have scored 4 or more goals under Jonas Ederval, but little sign of them cutting loose so far. McCabe with the free kick. Wubben Moy. Into Palova. Victoria Palova, one of the January signings Arsenal made, of course. They were really forced into action due to the nature of the injury list, and now they have 4 players out with ACLs, including Vivian Miedemar and Beth Mead. Laura Williamson, another one. As the ball is played forward for Blackstenius. Cut out in the end, and it will be a corner kick. It's the first time we've really seen Blackstenius given the opportunity to run with the ball on the ground. And it was defended well by Holmgren. First real test here for Emily Ramsey, but it's too deep for everybody. Wubben Moy was coming in around the back. Wubben Moy, another player who's had to take more responsibility with Leah Williamson out for the long term. And Jonas Ederval has had the sort of injury list he must have been dreading, with Kim Little now added to it, unavailable for the rest of the season. So everywhere he looks, there are team leaders now on the treatment table, dealing with recuperation rather than chasing honours. Wheeler. Bjorn again will try and play out from the back, but it's given away cheaply. Palova. Challenged by Ghali, but it's wide towards Maanum. And she's dug out the cross. Ford is waiting, and Karen Holmgaard with a good clearance, and now Sørensen will try and bring the ball clear. Holmgaard. Sørensen again, closed down by the other captain, McCabe, and it will be an Everton throw-in. And the situation at the top of the table at the start of play, Manchester United have 50 points. Chelsea with a game in hand coming up later on against West Ham. They have 49 points. Arsenal with this game in hand, starting on 44 points. Level on points with Manchester City, who have played a game more. And the big games coming up this weekend. The Manchester derby, and of course Chelsea against Arsenal. But Arsenal have work to do here first. Palova. Slid into Blackstenius. Looking to turn, the shot deflected, it will be a corner. Blackstenius Clearly in the mood after those 2 goals against Brighton. Ending what had been a relatively lean spell for her. But 5 of her 8 goals in the WSL this season have come away from home. Maanum into the near post, but cleared initially. Turned by Moritz, but Beever Jones was doing her defensive work. McCabe, and now Beever Jones has won it back. As Snoejis down the centre, Beever Jones pulling wide. And she's now got support from Holmgaard, but Beever Jones looks to change the point of the attack herself. Sørensen fouled by Ford. It will be a free kick. And Everton have started this game well. There was always going to be a degree of soul-searching after a 7-0 loss, and they've looked a good deal more solid so far, and now they have a set piece. Megan Finnegan, who was on the bench here this evening, the last Everton player to score against Arsenal, and it was a couple of years ago in a 2-1 defeat here. Free kick is swirled very deep, but the header was initially won before it was dug out by Beattie. Sørensen trying her luck down the left. Raphael on the end of the cross this time. Now Ford picks up the loose ball. It runs into Bjorn. Beever Jones on loan from Chelsea, so can do her parent club a favour here tonight. Brian Sørensen has always preached possession football to his team, and we've seen so much of that so far in the game. But Everton are looking to press at every opportunity, and that could be costly with players like Blackstenius in the opposition. Ruben Moy. Maanum. Now McCabe into Blackstenius. No free kick given. Garlic. Blackstenius has stayed down, so Cheryl Foster will wave on the medical team. Blackstenius claiming that she was caught from behind. And it was her fellow Swedish international, Natalie Bjorn, who made the challenge. Maybe just clipped her heel, and Bjorn is now heading towards the impromptu team talk from Brian Sørensen. Everton will finish the season at home to Brighton and away to Manchester City. Tough finish for Arsenal. This game here tonight, then away to Chelsea, and at home to Aston Villa, who'll be looking to round off what's been such a memorable season for them. Blackstenius is quickly back on her feet. She'll be okay to come back on. Melissa Bergin, the fourth official, just checking on her. And Arsenal already have silverware in the trophy cabinet after beating Chelsea in the WSL Cup final. But of course they lost to them in the FA Cup and then to Wolfsburg in the semi-final of the Women's Champions League. So if they don't finish in the top three, they would consider it a disappointing season for clubs like Arsenal, even with the injury list. They believe they have to remain in the Champions League. Gali. And the ball was slightly behind Veje. Now Ramsey, and again she was closed down by Snoejis, but it squirts through to Benison. Beever Jones. And now Beattie. Won back well by Gali. And in the end, Ruben Moy going all the way back to Zinsberger. Maanum. Palova. And the Dutch international's done well. Ruben Moy. Maanum back to Zinsberger, who just has to quickly shuffle away from Beever Jones. Snoejis forcing the error, quickly finding Beever Jones, who's able to turn. Benison, oh, that's a disappointment for Everton. Beever Jones did seem to be clipped there, but stayed on her feet. Now Ford. Cut out well, though, by Karen Holmgaard. Two twins in the starting lineup, but Karen Holmgaard arrived from Turbine Potsdam, team relegated in Germany this season. And Sarah Holmgaard from Fortuna Huring, Ryan Sørensen's previous club. An interesting challenge there on Beever Jones inside the area from Leah Volti, but Benison unable to apply the finish. Another corner kick for Arsenal, won by the pressure of Snoejis. Maanum's delivery, very deep again, but very well claimed by Emily Ramsey. Courtney Brosnan was the first choice until this game. Ramsey did have 6 appearances this season, but most recently in January. Good defending again from Maritz. Veje will take the throw in. Sarah Holmgaard. Bjorn. Ruben Moy with the clearance. Beattie. And Arsenal have created very little in the game so far, it must be said. One shot apiece, and neither of those on target. And Everton with more possession so far, although Arsenal have had all of the corners. Raphael. Now Beattie. Palova. Snoejis on the move once again, but making her move too soon this time. Lisa Rashid, the assistant referee, was on duty at Bradford against Carlisle in the men's playoffs on Sunday. Both of the home guard twins are creating the angles for Ramsey when she looks to play out from the back. Bjorn, Wheeler, Veje. She comes inside, but she was caught. Katrina Veje winning an Arsenal title back in 2019. And we're not too far away from Anfield here, where Everton enjoyed a 3-0 victory this season in the Merseyside derby. Crowd of 27,000 there that night, and there were 22,000 at Goodison Park to see a 1-1 draw against Liverpool earlier this season. But Everton have mainly been around 6th to 8th for much of the season. Had a decent start to the campaign, but that was quickly dissipated, and of course they were hovering just above the relegation place last season amid all the chaos going on off the field, so it has been a campaign of progress. And they finished 5th and 6th in the 2 seasons before that. The clearance has been given away, helped on towards goal and in! And Caitlin Ford has the opening goal for Arsenal. And it almost seemed to happen in slow motion. Another defensive error from Everton. And Caitlin Ford scores her 11th goal of the season. Bjorn's clearance was quickly swept into the penalty area, and Ford just helping the ball on, really. But it had enough on it to bobble in off the far post. And in a game Arsenal have to win, they lead 1-0. And that really was something out of nothing. But now a mistake at the other end. Beever Jones bearing down on goal, but a great recovery challenge from Ruben Moy. Here is Veje. Everton looking for the quick response here. And Veje's done well. It's a good cross in. Raphael with the clearance. Benison. Now Beever Jones again. This time she gets the shot in, but it's too high. For Lotte Ruben Moy making the mistake there from the long ball forward. And Beever Jones was in, but Ruben Moy, who was a very pacey defender, did well to eat up the ground and time that challenge perfectly. Maanum. Now Pelova. Valti, who provided the cross for the goal. Caitlin Ford has now scored 5 goals in the WSL this season. 4 of those have come from away from home. Pelova. Maanum. She went down in the end, and a goal kick's been given. This was the charge forward from Maanum. And it was the challenge which came in from Sarah Holmgren, and then Maanum going down after the fact. Well, Arsenal have been nowhere near their best here, but they do have a habit of conjuring up goals, and they will eagerly gobble up any mistakes, as they did there. Ford. A win for Arsenal will put them 3 points clear of Manchester City. They have a significantly better goal difference at the moment, but their goal difference is significantly worse than the top two. But here is Snoejis, and that's good goalkeeping from Ramsey to concede the corner. Both Manchester United and Chelsea have a goal difference of plus 42. Arsenal's currently is plus 35. And on paper at least, this looks to be their best opportunity to plump that up, with games coming up against Chelsea and Aston Villa. Corner. Cleared away by Snoejis. Beever Jones. It's given away again. And now McCabe, oh, it's two. Another Everton mistake and another Arsenal goal. And very quickly this game has got away from Everton. Katie McCabe loves a goal from long range. And it was Katya Snoejis who gave the ball away, quickly transferred in field to McCabe. And Ramsey got down, but may have got fingertips to it, but no more than that. And Arsenal have really been gifted 2 goals here, and that will be a huge frustration for Everton. Katie McCabe with the second. Her third of the season, and they always tend to have the air of the spectacular about them. Veje. Wheeler. Imperative for Everton that they score the next goal in the game. 2 in 4 minutes for Arsenal. And if you make mistakes, that's what they tend to do. It was almost given away again there by Bjorn this time. Arsenal, of course, have been doubled by Manchester United this season, also lost at Manchester City. And they dropped points in the final moments against Chelsea at home and away to West Ham. Veje, but they tend to make short work of those lower down in the table, and they're doing that here. Lovely turn from Palova, and she will seek out Caitlin Ford. Holmgard on a yellow card, backpedaling. Ford coming inside, but the shot is too close to Ramsey this time. And Caitlin Ford did have players in support. Maanum winning the header. Palova. Sørensen stepping in before Ford, but here is Snoejis. McCabe. Now Raphael. And Arsenal with that platform now really need to go for goals to try and close that goal difference between themselves and the top two. Snoejis. But they found Everton obliging hosts so far. And you could argue that Everton were the better side in the opening half hour, but once again they have really given the game to the opposition as Volti was fouled. The clash between her and Galli, it will be a free kick. Brian Sørensen will be frustrated because if his team are to lose, he would rather that the opposition have to work really hard to beat them, and at the moment that has not really been the case. Moritz. And then Ruben Moy back to Zinsberger. Snoejis in pursuit. Bjorn tidies up this time. Oh, it's given away by Ramsey. Straight to Palova. Snoejis on the turn, but it's straight at the goalkeeper this time. And Everton not learning their lessons. And Snoejis this time given the opportunity. Galli. Now Bjorn. Galli has dropped a bit deeper here to try and use her passing ability, but it's been given away. Here is Maanum. Now McCabe. Ford and Snoejis wait in the centre. The cross is deep, but there's Snoejis with the header, and Ford will make it 3. And it's so easy for Arsenal. Caitlin Ford with her second.
Goal scorer for Arsenal, number 19, Caitlin Ford.
Nothing Emily Ramsey could do this time. And Arsenal here with 3 goals in the space of 9 minutes. Frida Maanum picking up the loose ball once again. McCabe with the cross. Snoejis may have been going for goal. In the end it was spooned up by Ramsey, but Caitlin Ford was there to pick up the pieces. And the parry from the Everton goalkeeper fell very kindly for the Australian. And Arsenal heading towards another very comfortable victory on Merseyside. This will be 16 successive wins away to either Everton or Liverpool. And in 15 of those, they have scored at least twice. And there could be more here tonight. And Everton conceding 3 goals, which will really knock the stuffing out of them. McCabe going down, challenged by Sørensen. And maybe some frustration there from the Everton captain. Heading for their 5th defeat away from home. All against the top 5. And that tells you where Everton are. Crashing through that glass ceiling to become a challenger once again. Looks to be some way off for Everton. Here is Maanum. Maanum's free kick, it's deep, it's another Wouben Moy this time. And Arsenal have 4 goals in the blink of an eye. 4 goals in 12 minutes. And that was so easy. And Brian Sørensen contemplates another heavy defeat here. Maanum with another assist. Stood up for Wouben Moy. And her movement was too much for Sørensen. And she dives in to score her first goal of the season. Scored against Everton last season with a header. And she's done likewise here. And Arsenal are closing in on the goal difference of both Manchester United and Chelsea. They were 8 behind at the start of the game, but they've halved that already. Wheeler. But it was really good movement there from Lotte Wouben Moy. It wasn't just a case of barreling through to thunder in the header. She evaded Sørensen very cleverly. And she's made more appearances for Arsenal this season than in any other. A player who came through the academy, took time to establish herself in the first team, but she's done that now. Here is Blackstenius. Arsenal seeking a 5th before half-time. And for the 15th time under Jonas Edeval, Arsenal have scored at least 4 goals in a game, and Everton have given the ball away again. Here is McCabe. She lets fly again, and she wasn't too far away from number 5. Well, for the second successive Wednesday, Arsenal are 4 goals up before half-time, and it could have been worse there for Everton. Arsenal with 8 attempts on goal, 7 on target. Here is 4. This time Ramsey makes the save. And Everton's defensive resolve has melted away. No question of offside. They were all pushing up, but it was Bjorn who was playing them on. And Ford denied a hat-trick in the first half. And this is turning into another damaging night for Everton. Sørensen. Holmgaard. And Brian Sørensen dropped 2 defenders for this game. And his team
the 4th official has indicated there will be
4 goals down.
Of 2 minutes additional time.
And we are into a minimum of 2 more minutes. Here have absolutely no confidence when they try to bring the ball forward. Holmgaard. Snoejis. It falls for Ghali. Now Veje. Sarah Holmgaard in support. Veje's cross there is closed down. What on earth do Everton do here? Well, Snoejis has won it back. The shot fired in, blocked by Beattie. Wouben Moy. And Everton do have a throw-in. Veje. Snoejis. Beever Jones. She goes for the curler, and it's some way wide. May have been trying to pick out Sørensen at the far post. But a big 15 minutes coming up for him. But not much you can really do when your team give the ball away with such regularity in the defensive third. And Everton have conceded 11 goals in 1.5 games. Caitlin Ford with 2 for Arsenal. 4 goals in 12 minutes. 3 of them were gifts. Katie McCabe lashing in the second, and Lotte Wubben-Moy heading in the fourth. And Arsenal were fairly unimpressive before that, but once they got the opening goal, Everton crumbled, and another big win looks to be on the cards. Half-time, Everton 0, Arsenal 4. Arsenal get the second half underway, wearing all black, attacking the goal away to our right, leading here by 4-0. And changes to both sides at half-time. Aurora Ghali for Everton, replaced by Ricky Saveka. So a central defender coming on to replace a midfielder. And Saveka was dropped following the 7-0 loss against Chelsea, but has come back into the team here. And Raphael replaced by Jodie Taylor in the Arsenal team. So Taylor will be on the right-hand side of the attack. And Jonas Idebal has thrown on another attacking option here, with Arsenal leading by 4-0. Still looks like 3 at the back. And Katie McCabe playing on the left-hand side as Beever Jones gathers for Everton. She's got time to bring the ball forward, but she heads into traffic and she rather lunges in on Vaulted. It will be a free kick, and 1 or 2 Everton players not too happy with the nature of the challenge, as you can see. Jen Beattie was fairly vocal about that. Vaulty has stayed down. And we'll see here, Beever Jones lost the ball, but then did really lunge in on Vaulty. And the studs were raised there, and they were raked down the ankle. And that's a nasty one. And really, you can see why the Arsenal players were so unhappy with that. Well, Aggie Beever Jones looking to make something happen, but it looks like she may have avoided a yellow card here, and if she has done, she's rather fortunate. And out of our shot, Aggie Beever Jones has been shown the yellow card. She can't really complain about that, as Jonas Idebal looks on to see another one of his experienced players receiving treatment. And that does not look good. And Beever Jones has quickly departed the scene, but the care that's been offered there to Leah Vaulty suggests this could be a bad one, and it looks like oxygen is being offered to the player, which is never a good sign. Cheryl Foster, the referee, is having words with the Everton captain. On another day, that could have been a red card. In fact, Beever Jones has been shown the red card. She's been sent off. Well, the referee has changed her decision. She spoke to Lisa Rashid, her assistant, who maybe had a better view of that on the far side. And Cheryl Foster has dismissed Aggie Beever Jones. She leaves the field in tears. And the teenager on loan from Chelsea departs right at the start of the second half. And I think she knew it was a bad challenge. And that's good refereeing, it must be said, from Cheryl Foster to take advice and change the decision. It'll be little consolation for Leah Volti or Jonas Ideval. But having seen the replay, of course, no VAR in the Women's Super League, but Lisa Rashid, the assistant, has offered the advice to her referee, and it has been taken on board. And seeing the replays that we've seen, you have to say it's the correct decision. For Jonas Ideval, already without Miedema, Mead, Williamson, Van Reuther and Little. He's watching Leah Volti receive some prolonged treatment here. And Arsenal may have to make another change. Raphael has already departed. And the stretcher is out. And this is a very sad sight for Leah Volti. And we've had a delay now of around 4 minutes. And Arsenal are preparing their change. It doesn't look as though Volti will be able to leave the field of play without the stretcher, and the expressions of the Arsenal players around her really tell the story. Only back in the Arsenal team this evening. And unfortunately for Arsenal, seeing teammates carried off after serious injuries is something they've experienced before this season. And Katie McCabe will have the job of trying to maintain her team's focus on the matter in hand once Leah Volti departs, but from the moment it happened, it looked to be a bad injury, and sadly the scenes we're seeing now bear that out. With the protective cast around the right leg. And the paramedics also in attendance. And Catherine Kuhl, the teenage Danish international, will be coming on. And after a delay which is heading towards its 7th minute, Leah Volti is eventually carried off. And the sight of ambulance crew there as well suggests she will be taken straight to hospital.
Substitution for Arsenal going off. Number 13, Leah Volsey, and her replacement is number 22, Catherine Cool.
And Catherine Cool, the player who comes on. And it's going to be difficult for both sets of players to really regain any sort of rhythm after what we've just seen. Play stopped in the 47th minute. And after an 8-minute delay, the match is back underway. Arsenal leading comfortably. But I'm sure in their minds at the moment that is not really the story. Ruben Moy, helped on by Taylor. And now Bjorn. And it's helped away by Ramsey. Veje will chase, but Everton concede possession once again. And Arsenal, of course, facing Chelsea on Sunday. And it looks as though they will be playing them without another experienced player unavailable to them due to injury. Beever Jones just miscontrolling, but following that with that lunge, and of course it's a sad irony that Arsenal are playing Chelsea and she is on loan from Chelsea, although I'm sure that was nowhere near her mind when she made the challenge. Ford. Now McCabe. It's a good cross in. Taylor unable to keep the header down, but it was good movement from Arsenal. Jodie Taylor has not scored in the Women's Super League since September of 2017, when she was previously with Arsenal. She has been a globe-trotting centre forward throughout her career. And she'll be disappointed not to have made it 5 there. Holmgaard. On back by Cool. Moritz.
Who was the tackle on, Dad?
Cool. Holmgaard has done well to win it back, but she carries it forward. All she can do is carry the ball out of play. Now McCabe again. Ford on a hat-trick, of course. But Savetka is there to clear the ball away. Concerns and has lost out to McCabe. Beattie. Here is Ruben Moy. Aggie Beever Jones departing the field in tears as the flag goes up for offside. There really didn't look to be any malice in the challenge, but there's no doubt that she had to go. It was clumsy, but it has left Arsenal with what looks like another serious injury. Now Taylor. Jodie Taylor looking to head through. She was just pulled back there initially, it seemed, by Sarah Holmgaard. And Everton will be able to clear. Moritz. Jodie Taylor back in familiar surroundings, born in Birkenhead on the Wirral Peninsula. Began her career at Tranmere Rovers and She has a mural on the side of one of the stands there. Ford. Of course, Prenton Park is the home of Liverpool women. They played there this season. But it's an Arsenal player who adorns one of the stands. Moritz. Maanum. Wearing gloves on a very mild evening. Ruben Moy. Now McCabe. And Ford again. 3 Everton players drawn towards her. Caitlin Ford, a player who has won the A-League in Australia with Sydney and also featured for Portland and Gotham in the United States. She's really become a key player for Arsenal, particularly this season in the absence of so many attacking talents. Ruben Moy. Now McCabe. Blackstenius. Free kick. And it was Savetka with the challenge. It was a fairly clear-cut decision. Arsenal looking to try and rediscover some sort of rhythm here after that long delay for the Leah Volti injury. With the Republic of Ireland fan watching on, Katie McCabe will take the free kick. The sort of area where she could go for goal here, but in the end it's high towards Beattie. It's off the crossbar. Did it cross the line? Well, the flag's raised anyway. It's offside. Michelle O'Neill raising the flag, and clearly Beattie was in an offside position. Double change for Everton.
Substitution for Everton coming off. Number 2, Katrina Veje. And her replacement is number 7.
Katrina Veje heading off, and Lucy Hope, the Scottish international, comes on. Scored the winning goal at Aston Villa earlier this season.
For Everton, number 23, Sarah Holmgaard. And replacement number 27, Alyssa Stenevik.
And Sarah Holmgaard coming off, and Ellie Stenevik, the Norwegian under-21 international, coming on. So we have Danes, Norwegians and Swedes all over the field here on both sides. Brian Sørensen seeing his team battle on here with 10 players. Cool. Palova working it wide. Here is Moritz. And it's headed away. The corner has been avoided. Stenevik. And Everton look to play out once again. Wheeler. And as a result, Bjorn's under pressure, but the final touch was off Taylor. And Everton have persisted with the possession-based style right out from the back, even though it's cost them at least 3 goals here tonight. But I suppose the only way to improve plan A is not to have a plan B, and that seems to be the way Everton are working. Holmgard. Well, there's an opportunity for Sørensen to try and break forward, but she's lost out, but it's quickly won back. Here is Benison. It was behind Hope initially. Now Bjorn. Hope. Looking for Snoejis, but beyond her, and she is very much the lone striker now. Everton now making 3 changes. Savetka, Hope and Stanovic all coming on. Arsenal brought on Jodie Taylor for Raphael at half-time, and then of course Leah Volti was replaced by Catherine Kuhl. Palova. Maritz. Now Wubben-Moy. Kuhl in towards Taylor. Looking to ride the challenge. She does, and forces a good save from Ramsey. And now McCabe, deep inside the penalty area, but the cross was lofted. And it's brought clear, and then a late challenge by Maritz, and it will be a free kick. But Jodie Taylor, close to her first Arsenal goal on her return, denied by Emily Ramsey. And that was classic Jodie Taylor, really, out-muscling the central defender. And then having the power from any angle. No hat-trick for Caitlin Ford. She heads off. Had the chance just before half-time. And Gio comes on to replace her. The teenage Brazilian. Already has international cap signed from Barcelona. One for the future, but very much in the present due to Arsenal's injury problems. Stanovic. Now Hope. Cut out initially by Wubben-Moy. Stanovic again, it's just beyond Snoejis. Arsenal yet to add to their tally in the second half, but of course we did have the lengthy delay, and the nature of the injury has really taken some of the steam out of the game. McCabe. Maanum. Maritz. Now Gio involved. Palova. McCabe pulling away. Maanum. No, she can hit them from long range. Cool. And Palova can as well, but it's over the top. Scored her first goal in the WSL against Brighton last week. Arsenal here being given time to size up the opportunities from that sort of area. Benison. Ball in field, strikes the referee, so there will be a drop ball. BT remains a player who Arsenal can always rely on. A second spell, of course. He's won WSL titles with both Arsenal and Manchester City. Izzy Christiansen will be coming on shortly. Another title winner with Manchester City. Arsenal's performance has been subdued since the injury for Leah Volti. On the face of it, she looks to be unavailable for the final two games, but of course she's a key part of the Switzerland team heading to the World Cup as well, and they will be anxiously awaiting news of the injury. Of course, England already without Leah Williamson, and Beth Mead is hopeful but faces a race against time to be fit. Vivian Miedema won't be with the Netherlands team. And unfortunately, there are big names missing the World Cup due to injuries, not just confined to the WSL, as Emily Ramsey has a problem. She's made a couple of fine saves to keep the score down. Couldn't keep out Katie McCabe's effort to make it 2-0. There's the opening goal. Moritz with the cross and Ford finishing, and then McCabe from long range making it 2. Blackstenius denied by Ramsey, but Ford was there to nod in the third. And Ruben Moy on the end of Maanum's free kick to make it 4. 4 goals in 13 minutes. None since, but there are reasons for that. Emily Ramsey now having her right ankle strapped up. Difficult game to make your comeback in. Not given too much help by the defenders in front of her in the first half. Nicoline Cernzi coming off to be replaced by Izzy Christiansen. So the armband has been handed over as well. Who has won titles with both Lyon and Manchester City, Megan Finnegan, also comes on. And the second home guard twin, Karen, heads off in the second half. Megan Finnegan, the last player to score a goal for Everton against Arsenal in May of 2021, when Arsenal won here in the final moments 2-1. Confirmation of those changes going through at the top of your picture. But this will be 15 successive wins for Arsenal against Everton, and they're 17th in total, which is a WSL record. Palova, good ball. Moritz, though, is just offside. A rare occasion that Everton have had the better of Arsenal was the FA Cup final back in 2010, when Natasha Dowie scored the winning goal in the final minute of extra time, when Everton won a thriller 3-2. a really good Arsenal team, full of legendary names. That Everton side also competed in the latter stages of the Champions League. They were title contenders at the start of the WSL, but players like Farrah Williams, Jill Scott, Lucy Bronze, Tony Duggan and Nikita Paris all went elsewhere. They were relegated in 2014. Came back from the second tier in 2017. And we briefly saw Lisa Rashid there, the assistant who had a role in the sending off, talking to Cheryl Foster, the referee, and as a result the yellow card for Aggie Beever Jones was upgraded to a red. And it was clearly the correct decision. Bad challenge, more clumsy than malicious, but that will be little consolation to Leah Volti at the moment. Fell over, cool. Maanum, McCabe demanding the ball in space to the left. Now she receives it, and the cross in, almost picking out Gio. Cleared to Palova. Maanum onside this time. Cross though is blocked by Hope. Palova. Ruben Moy. Cool. Scooped over the top, looking for Gio, but Everton clear, and they're yet to concede since they went down to 10 players. Stenovic. Back to Emily Ramsey. Now Bjorn. And again, Everton just lingering playing the ball out, and managed to work their way forward this time, but it's been a policy fraught with danger for them throughout the game. Moritz. Palova. Space again on the left, but Benison should get there before McCabe. Wheeler. Oh, it's been given away. Maanum. Well, she scored a spectacular goal against Everton at Meadow Park last season, but off target this time. But Arsenal not scored since the 42nd minute. But they've had 15 attempts on goal, 9 of those on target. But Jonas Ideval may already be contemplating Chelsea away coming up on Sunday, and what team he could possibly pick. Here is Gio picking up another loose ball. Good challenge coming in though from Hope, and it's a goal kick in the end. Such a big weekend with the Manchester derby as well. Now Blackstenius picks up the loose pass, and Ramsey does just enough in the end to turn it aside. Well, Ramsey playing the ball out, and it was quickly won back by Taylor, and this time Blackstenius denied. Everton were looking for a free kick for the challenge on Savetka, but it's a corner kick. Maanum will take it. Ramsey comes, doesn't get there, but the free kick's been given. Cheryl Foster's had a busy day. But of course, no VAR here, as Bjorn is not helped by the pass from Ramsey, so has to check back deep into a penalty area. Pelova. Cool. But it was a good example of the match officials working together earlier on. Christensen. Benison in support. McCabe comes in with a challenge and Pelova comes away with the ball. Moritz. Gio. Starting in with Stanovic. Ali Stanovic, the Norwegian under-21 international. Adding to the Nordic flavour on the field tonight. Cedarval does not look like a coach with a 4-0 lead, but maybe that's understandable in the circumstances. Arsenal looking for their 50th WSL goal of the season here. Moritz with the cross, and Ramsey is able to claim. Katie McCabe scoring only the 10th Arsenal goal from outside the penalty area during the first half. Now Gio. Everton give the ball away again. Blackstenius doesn't quite stick. And Hope will bring it clear here for Everton. Gio. And Arsenal also scored their 13th set-piece goal. The 4th goal in the first half. Only the top two have scored more goals via that method this season. Moritz. Gio on the outside, but it's well seen by Stanovic. Now Hope. Snoejis. It's a good ball from her. It was given away again. Here is Ruben Moy. Now Moritz. And Everton trying to work on playing out from the back, but at the moment they just tend to take too many touches and invite pressure. Here is McCabe looking to apply more here. Beattie. Ruben Moy. Moritz again has the freedom of the right-hand side. Pelova. Good turn from Cool. She was strong. But the shot is clipped into the arms of Ramsey. And that was good stuff from Catherine Kuehl. And Arsenal will look forward to seeing more of her next season. And this is her 9th appearance in signing in January. Beattie. Now Ruben Moy. Moritz. Gio. Pelova. Maanum working it wide again to McCabe, who goes all the way back to Beattie. And Arsenal took care of this game in a 13-minute spell in which they scored the 4 goals. They would have settled for that at the start of play, but I'm sure they were talking about more goals at half-time, and Jodie Taylor came on to maybe give them more of an attacking threat. But the injury to Leah Volti has really overshadowed what has happened since. Maanum. Now Taylor. McCabe on the overlap. Just driven wide by the pace of the ball. And that's a rarity from Katie McCabe. Everton, it's a very small crumb of comfort, maybe satisfied that they've lasted so long with 10 players in the second half. Christensen, now Stanovic, fizzed into Hope, but she does well to control it. Benison, and there's a play over here, it's Savetka, but Beattie makes the challenge. Ricky Savetka forward from the back, and Everton win their first corner with 5 minutes to go. The 12th woman and her crew continue their support. Towards a lot of added time here. I would think 9 or 10 minutes. Everton corner. Oh, it's a free header, and it's a goal for Snoejis. And the Dutch international scores again in the Women's Super League. Katya Snoejis barely had to leave the ground,
Katya Snoejis.
and it was a good delivery to pick her out. And Snoejis, with a perfectly planted header, lost Jodie Taylor and then picked out the far corner. And she was brought in from Bordeaux to score goals, and goals like that. Now Maritz, will Arsenal be stung into a late response here? Jonas Cedarval will not be happy his team have lost the clean sheet. Ryan Sørensen will view that as barely a consolation, I think. Kuhl, Palova, Maanum. Been given away again. Here was an opportunity for Everton to break again with Snoejis. Now Wheeler. Hope heading into the penalty area. And Hope has gone beyond Palova, and the pullback is blocked. And Arsenal can bring the ball clear. Arsenal's marking was really poor, but it's Everton's first effort on target. 4 attempts from them, 17 from Arsenal. 11 of those have been on target. The possession is 50-50. Maritz, Taylor slips. And here is Benison. Bjorn. Kuhl looking to win it back. Everton scored their first goal against Arsenal since May of 2021. And Arsenal making a couple of late changes.
For Arsenal coming off, number 15,
Katie McCabe is coming off.
Number 7, Steph Catley.
And Steph Catley will come on to replace her. Another Australian international with significant US experience. That's the goal from McCabe.
Also coming off for Arsenal, number 25, Katya
Snoejis.
56, Frida Godfrey.
Also coming off, no goal for her tonight. An 18-year-old Frida Godfrey will come on to replace her. Made her debut last week. Godfrey quickly involved, looking to play in Catley. Snoejis, one or two chances, provided the header which led to the third goal. Taylor. One back by Benison. We are heading towards the end of 90 minutes, but this game still has some time to run. Over. Beattie.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 10 minutes.
And 10 added minutes. 8 of those accounted for the injury for Leah Volti and the red card for Aggie Beever Jones. Moritz. To take the long way around Stenovic and keep the ball in play, but she can't do so. Jolie Taylor has had one clear-cut opportunity. Only made one start since returning. It's her 5th appearance from the bench today. Moritz. Jolie Taylor's played in 5 different nations and also for 5 different teams in the US. And if she gets an opportunity around the penalty area, she still strikes a ball so sweetly. Moritz, and now Gio. Taylor waits in the centre, but it was just beyond her, and Godfrey was coming in, unable to apply the finishing touch. Taylor. The cross is allowed to bounce. Stenovic will try and clear under pressure from Gio here, and in the end it's one back, but the free kick's been given. Godfrey, the player who was looking to supply the finish. Gio with the cross in, and Godfrey flying in but unable to make contact. England under 19 international. Everton's 19-year-old Aggie Beever Jones won't play again this season, on loan from Chelsea following that red card. Savetka playing by Zinsberger. And Arsenal, although the game has been won comfortably, will be disappointed to have conceded from a set piece like that. Maybe shows a weakness which Chelsea will look to exploit on Sunday. And Aston Villa have a striker in form on the final day as well. Ruben Moy. Palova. Able to pick out the runners ahead of her, but it's won back by Maanum. Once gets in a tangle with Palova. Snoejis. Here is Benison. Finnegan. Now Wheeler. Stenovic. Everton have done well with 10 players. They've not completely caved in. Arsenal, understandably perhaps, maybe lost some focus. But Brian Sernsen knows there is still a lot of work to do to make Everton a competitive team at the top of the table once again. Ruben Moy. That's another excellent ball. Here is Moritz. Tucked away by Savetka. Gio. Palova. A number of young players have really had to stand up for Arsenal in recent times with so many injuries. Maanum. Ruben Moy. Palova. Still 5 minutes of added time to play after this. Catley. Savetka will get there before Godfrey. Everton have a home game with Brighton coming up at the weekend. Cool. Looking to turn inside. And she gets the shot in, but Ramsey makes a smart save. But for Emily Ramsey, this could have been another 7-goal horror show for Everton. So maybe look at her role in the second and third goals, but she's also made some really good saves. And at times, she's not had a huge amount of protection ahead of her. Ruben Moy. Now the early ball forward. Here is Taylor. Back to Gio. Looking to twist and turn. Palova. Moritz. And the cross is flicked away, and then the volley from Godfrey is lifted over the top. She's had one or two opportunities, but a difficult volley to execute here. Arsenal fans getting a glimpse of the future here as well, with players like Freya Godfrey involved in the first team. Catherine Kuehl, another one. Here is Maanum, still full of energy in the 98th minute. And that's a really good ball. Gio could be in here, and she hits the outside of the post. Well, the Brazilian close to her first goal for Arsenal. Good running again, found by Maanum. And the angle was tight, but she almost made light of it. Godfrey. Now Catley. Kuehl. Ruben Moy. Veje, who has taken the armband in the absence of McCabe. Wubben Moy, helped on by Gio. Marik's able to send it bouncing into the penalty area, but Hope should be able to clear here. Helped up by Wheeler. Frida L. We just want this game finished with now and start planning for Chelsea on Sunday, and start wondering how he accounts for another absentee due to injury. Snoejis gets there before Wubben Moy. Now Christensen. Cleared initially by Godfrey. Wheeler. Savetka. Palova's clearance. Taylor helping it back to Kuhl, and now Arsenal could finish on the attack in the 100th minute here with Godfrey. Good running from her. Gio. Taylor wants it down the centre, and Jodie Taylor is there, and the flag is raised for offside. Maybe looking for the ball sooner. Another break for Arsenal, which maybe should have led to something more. Taylor just checking her run to try and stay onside, but that's full time. Mixed feelings for Jonas Idebal in the end. A comfortable win for Arsenal, up to third in the table, but their victory really overshadowed for a serious injury for Leah Volti following a challenge from Aggie Beever Jones, which led to a red card for the Everton youngster. Katie McCabe scoring the second goal, Caitlin Ford with 2 in the first half, and then Lotte Wubben Moy ending a spell of 4 goals in 13 minutes. Arsenal was subdued following the injury early in the second half, and Everton with a late consolation from Katya Snoejis. But Arsenal take a firm grip on third ahead of the game against Chelsea coming up on Sunday. Full time, Everton 1, Arsenal 4.